All right. Hey everybody, my name is LaDonna Raeh, and this is our hot saucin show for tonight. I've only got like normally I'm all energetic and excited, got my makeup on. I couldn't put a stitch of it on today because as I said, I was gonna dedicate this show to our black men, but especially Jason Sanders. And on here, I want to tell you about how we met, but I'm gonna get his niece on here, which is my niece. Actually, she's more like my sister and always has been for 31 years. I'm not trying to tell your age, girl. How you doing, Nikki? Uh-oh, Nikki, you're look at that. That background is
I,
so long.
I said I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Trying to make it every day at a time.
I know, right? Every day counts, Nikki. Just everything has changed all in a matter of 48 hours. Your life, my life, and it's hard to believe. It's hard to consume. It's hard to. It's so surreal right now.
I can certainly agree to that. Whoo, yes, life had changed forever. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Life had changed and it changed forever. This is not no it's gonna get better. I don't it's not.
Right.
Not for not for us. It's not.
Right. Normally I talk on hot sauce and about racial indifference, getting navigating as a African American in the United States. But tonight I wanted to really take the time to dedicate this show to your uncle Jay, as you called him. Jason. But 48 hours ago, Nikki, your grandmother called me. I was at work and I had just done my show. It was, I'm all happy. Hey, it's LaDonna Raeh show, yada yada. And I'm in good spirits. And I saw that she called and I figured, wait a minute. I'm at work, so I'm not gonna answer that. But literally she called me again and I felt like something was wrong. And you were there with her when you delivered me the news that Jason had passed away. Can you tell us about Jason? Because I know some people are logging in and they're like, who is this guy?
Um, that's my uncle, my best friend, my love of my life. Jason, well, there's so many amazing things that I can say about my uncle. Like I say, he had his trials and tribulations, but as a person, besides that, he was a genuine, not a person that was judgmental, not jealous, funny, silly, like to make jokes. He just like and friendly. He used to talk to anybody. He was Jason, but to me, he was just but in a lot of different ways, Jason had a lot of good, sweet ways about himself.
Yeah.
And you know, and he'll tell you a joke to put a smile on your face. It'd be a dumb joke. You'd be looking at him like, really? Did you say that? But it was just about the effort he put in to make you feel like, he just wanted you to be better and get better, and recently he used to always say, "Man, Nick, I'm proud of you," and that felt good coming from him because he just like I said, it feel good when it comes from somebody genuine, and he was a
Yeah.
very genuine person in so many ways, just not one.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. I met Jason when I was 16 years old. But how I wanted to tie him into this particular show is because Jason was in New Jersey when he passed away. He had just, really wanted to turn his life around and move forward. And I'm starting to feel a little edgy about how this all unfolded. So I just really want everybody to know that, no matter what or how you knew him, he touched you in some way. But I met Jason when I was 16 years old. I was pregnant, not with his kid. But it was a moment when I felt thrown away, and he made me feel like I was somebody. And I didn't he didn't know I was pregnant. But over the years, not over the years I told him, but I did eventually tell him. And he was like, "Oh, that's okay. It's okay, D." He always called me D. And I was like, "Really?" Cuz I thought he wouldn't like me anymore. But he did. But I really want to, give a shout out to all of our men and women, especially our black men that are out there fighting the system, that are fighting whatever demons come your way, that are really fighting to stay free. And my mother said it best, and it really broke my heart when she said this. She said he's finally free. Nikki, one of the main blessings or major blessings that I had in him coming into my life was you coming into my life as well. Meeting his mother, which is your grandmother. For the longest, I thought that was your mother. And meeting his father, that was just always cool dad. We called him Butch. And it was like you all just really took me in as family, even though he and I weren't even together anymore. We were long gone. But you guys, you all were still my family. And I just want to thank you for making me feel like that. Everybody on 107th, shout out to you in Chicago and Beverly. That's where it all began. That was the house that Barbara and Butch built. Anybody that was anybody in their lives or in his life knew the house on 107th.
I can certainly agree. Everybody know Grandma and Granddaddy had a welcome. Always, their door was always open for everybody. They welcomed everyone, non-judgmental people. They welcomed
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, that part right there. I know you said you couldn't stay on long, and if anybody out there that knew Jason wants to come on, you're more than welcome. I'll send you the link. Just send me a message. But I really want to start off, or I want to go into um our life story, even though we were parallel. And I know you said you weren't going to be on long, Nikki. Any final words if you could say to Jason right now? I'm not trying to make you cry anymore because we have been crying for 48 hours straight. I can tell you that. But if you could say anything to him, what would it be?
Well, two things is one, thank you for LaDonna for always being in our life. You have been wonderful, wonderful mother, wonderful person. So I do want to say I'm glad Jason brought you to us. So that's a good thing.
Thank you.
Um, Next thing I just tell Jason I love him. Because I mean, it's nothing more I can say. I always talk to Jason. We always had our laughter. He got on my nerves. I called him out on it, but at the end of the day, just tell him I love him. And I'm blessed to have been able to be a part of Jason's life, the Sanders family. I'm just blessed to have the people I had because I had two men in my life that just was non-gentle, just gentle, none, well, was judgmental people. I love it. Grandy would sit back and was the coolest cat on the block, and Jason was just silly. Just love to see people laugh and joke and just enjoy life. I'm just mad that New Jersey failed him as a person.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we will
Yeah.
see this through. I tell you that. Um,
Yes.
Nikki, how's grandma?
She's doing good. She's still, you know, she's still in the hospital. And thank you for visiting her yesterday. That meant a lot. I was up there with her today. She in and out. She trying to be strong because again, she like your mom said, he's free. No
Yeah.
more pain and no more worries. Because when he was up there, Grandma had worries because she always wanted Jason to be all right. And now she knows she can sleep peacefully. Now knowing that he's
That
okay,
he's okay.
he's safe.
Yep.
He's
That
safe.
part right
So
there.
I feel good too, knowing that he's not walking the streets and I don't know. I'm just lost for words because New Jersey really failed Jason as a person. They They didn't treat him as a person, they treated him as a number.
If that.
Yeah.
Treated him as a
All right.
take a number. It was
That's it.
yeah.
So
And yeah, I'll go more
that,
into it,
hmm
on the surface, but that breaks my heart knowing that he died alone.
yeah, without family, without family. So I love you, Donna. I'm gonna get off here, but I am gonna come back and listen to the rest of your show.
I love you too.
Um, I don't want to get the crying again, but everybody, goodbye.
All right, Nikki. Y'all give it up for Nikki Sanders, my niece forever. Okay.
Hey, you right. All right, Validana.
All right, you're watching Hot Saucin' with me, LaDonna Raeh, and normally I have a guest co-host, but not tonight. I wanted to dedicate this to all of our Black men. I know that we are struggling, and it starts really at a young age. And speaking of a young age, I want to just tell you how we met. This is so funny. Um, I was 16 years old. Like I said, I was pregnant. And at the time, my then baby's father kind of just dismissed me because it wasn't cool to be with a pregnant girl, especially if it's your baby, right? So I felt alone, and my mom was disappointed, my family was disappointed, and we had to move into a larger apartment. My mom was really good on us having enough space for the baby which was LaDante. And when LaDante was in my stomach, I wasn't really showing because I was 16, it was my first baby. But Jason was across the hall. He was like, what y'all doing? Y'all moving? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, wow, he's really nice looking. I thought he was really cute. And I thought I was really ugly. And especially being pregnant. I mean, I thought I was ugly anyway, but being pregnant, I really just knew that I was doomed. And he started kind of, oh, well, we should exchange numbers. And I thought he was trying to patronize me, or as my mother said, get it because I'm pregnant. She must be giving it up. It was so far from the truth. Jason and I exchanged numbers, and he called me almost every day. My mother would say, you got a few minutes. It's Jason. And he would get on the phone. Hey, what's up, D? Started calling me D from the beginning. I never told him I was pregnant until I was almost ready to have the baby. And my mother said, you got to tell him. And I was like, but he won't like me. And she was right. And I told him, I said, I just want to let you know I'm pregnant. He was like, already? Now, mind you, we hadn't seen each other. We were just talking on the phone. So of course it couldn't have been his because we hadn't done anything and I was on reserve. Okay. But he made me laugh. And I was like, silly, it's not your, yeah, I know. Well, what's going on with the dad? And I said, well, he's not interested. And he was like, oh, that's okay. It's okay. He made me feel like it was okay. He made me feel like a person. And I can tell you this, after disappointing so many people because I was pregnant, I needed that. I needed someone to say that's okay. After I had my baby, we went on our first date. His father pulled up with him in the back seat. Took us took us to um a party. I think Chris was there. Where's Chris? If Chris is on. Chris was there. A few of his friends were there, and music was playing. We were dancing. We had our first kiss. Jason became the love of my life at that time. I was 16. What does that mean? But he made me feel good about myself. Unfortunately, Jay was hanging with the wrong people at the wrong time. His mother and father did everything to give him everything he wanted. He was supposed to go to Syracuse University in California. He didn't make it because he was always trying to make people feel good and always trying to make people understand that he wasn't judgmental. So a group of friends, at least this is the story that was told to me over and over again. A group of friends of his had just carjacked a woman in a car. She was a white woman, and they were passing him by and said, "Hey, you need a ride?" And he was like, "Man, whose car is this? It's my auntie's car." He gets in the car, they get pulled over. You already know what happened, right? The white woman identified all of them. Nobody said he wasn't involved. He got 6 years. 6 years. When he was sentenced, I was crushed because it was the only person I felt that loved me, especially through my mess. And my mother, I remember her saying, "You crying over a guy?" But she wanted me to be strong and not dependent. I understand now. He did 2.5 years, came home. He wasn't the same. And he always fought to be back to being that same person, but he was all never judgmental, even going through that. Life dealt him a deck of cards that was not cool. We got back together, we broke up. We got back together, we broke up. I knew he was fighting demons, and I could not make those demons mine. But he always remained in my life, even though he was in the background. But anytime he called me, he said one sentence: "D, I love you. I love you, D." And I always blew him off and didn't say anything back, including this past Sunday. When he called me just to check on me and said, "D," or "I love you, D," I just said, "Okay, well, I'll talk to you later. You make sure you get me that information so I can write that letter for you to go back and help take care of this and that. Help your mother." I never got the opportunity to say, "You're in my heart. I'll always love you." Nope. Now, I've been crying for 48 hours. I promised I wouldn't cry on this show. Promised myself. But I think about all the men and women out there that are fighting demons, that are struggling with getting out of the system once you're in. You got kids out here that are doing things they think is funny, and then they get caught up in the system. They think it's cute to make people laugh or to threaten someone or to actually hurt someone and put it on a video. And then they get caught up in the system at young ages. I'm hearing not 13-year-olds, 11-year-olds, 14, 15, 17-year-olds getting caught up in the system. And the first thing people want to say is, "Well, where they mom at? Where they daddy at?" Yeah, that's the problem. That wasn't Jason's problem. Jason had a mother that would kick his ass and a father that didn't play. Middle class family that provided him with everything. He didn't have to go out there in the streets for nothing. But he surrounded himself with people that he wanted to make them feel good about themselves. He wanted to make sure that he was down to earth with them. And it changed the trajectory of his life. And now, on Tuesday, September 6th, right after talking to his mom and telling her he loved her, he was found dead. They don't know why. Not only is he dead, but he's in another state. They don't know why he's dead. We're still waiting on the autopsy. I hope that me dedicating my show to all the Black men, and Jason especially, helps you to realize how important every day is. Know that there's no outline of what makes a person who they are. You can have two parents, you can have one, you can have no parents, be raised by a grandmother and be great. Or you could be raised by a grandmother and be terrible. It's not it's not up to them, it's up to the individual. And sometimes you let people in your circle that are not good for you. They might seem good to you, but they're not good for you or your future. I want to say, Barbara Sanders, I love you. Albert Butch Sanders, rest in peace, I love you. Nikki Sanders, I love you. Lisa Sanders, I love you. Scott Sanders, I love you. And all of Jason's children, I love you. All of Jason's grandchildren, I love you. And I just wanted the opportunity to say that, even though I didn't say it on the last phone call that we had this past Sunday. We also spoke on the phone almost every other day recently. We always came back, reconnected, not to be together, but to be friends. I truly believe Jason was messing with me yesterday. I was getting off work and the elevator wouldn't open to let me off. And instantly I said, okay, Jay. The door opened. Last night, I wanted to fall asleep so bad because I wanted to get away. I wanted to get away from my pain. I visited his mother in the hospital just to hug her. And Jason always had his mother's eyes. I never told her this, but I look at her eyes and I see his. And I saw him last night. Hug your sons. Talk to them about the possibilities of making a bad decision. Get them off Facebook, get them off the phones because everything they're learning here can change the trajectory of their lives. And although we didn't have these when we were 16 and 17, we had the streets. The streets. The streets will call you in the wrong direction. Now, this is the streets. The new streets. Rest in peace, Jason Todd Sanders. We will be celebrating your birthday on December 7th. You would have been 50. Let me see, I'm 49. I think he'll be 49. Yeah. But 31 years in my life, that's unique. 16, you changed my life. 16, you gave me life. When I was ready to give up, I couldn't even look in the mirror and see a beautiful girl. Yep. And you know something? Just 3 weeks ago, oh, he'll be 49. I'm like, 49. Look, I'm in such denial about how old I am that I changed his age too. Nicole said he'll be 49 in December. Um, 4 weeks ago, we talked about when we met and how my mother was gonna beat our ass because he had put these hickeys on my neck. She was like, "What? You already had a baby. Now you trying to have another one?" I wasn't, but but she was so mad. He remembered that. He remembered all of that. He reminded me of some things, and I don't want to ramble, but I was doing security for CTA. I think back in 1995, 96. Wherever I was, Jason came. He came to my job. I was on Hooker Street over there on right off of Halsted, whatever that is. That CTA. They were just building new construction, and I was doing the security there. He came there to meet with me. And we had there were these go-karts to go from one end of the warehouse to another. And we would race in those go-karts. And we would pretend like, what if this was our house, our mansion? Okay, that'll be the kitchen. Oh my goodness, I want windows. And I don't want no cheap stove. And he was like, all D. Everything was all D. I promised I wouldn't cry on this show, but I'm not gonna do it. We were like kids. And speaking of kids, he loved my children. When he got locked up, I got pregnant again. It's no secret. You do the math. I didn't tell him to again. I got something to tell you. I did that to him twice. And he was like, it's okay. Because when he got locked up, he told me, go live your life. He said, D, I don't know how long I'm going to be in here. Go live your life. You're too young. Go live your life. Don't sound like an old man. What do you mean live your life? You're my life. No, go live your life. Well, I did that too much. I had another child, and when he came home, he treated them like they were his. I was so embarrassed because I felt like, man, ugh. But he was like, D, Quit playing. We good. I have so many more memories. So many more. I never wrote them down, but they're in here. I don't need to tell you all of them because we'll be on here for days. 31 years of memories. Even though I didn't get to tell them that, of course, Jay, I still love you. People that knew us and knew us together when we were together and how we were like big kids or two really good friends. Everybody keeps telling me that he knew it. And that's all I got to go by. That he knew it. So please tell your loved ones that you love them. Don't wait. Don't say I'll talk to you tomorrow. Don't say I'm not going to tell you what I want to tell you today. I'll tell you tomorrow. Don't do that. I know you hear this all the time. Oh wait, don't we? You know, tomorrow. There's this battle going, right? But you're gonna have to call people. You're gonna have to make an effort. Reach out, call people, tell them you love them. Just recently, his mother and I, we've rekindled. We had a little hiatus going well, because we did. I missed the death of his father, which was 3 years ago, all because we had a hiatus. I would have been at the funeral. Funny story. Jason made me so mad. I cut myself off from him. We went through times like that. And his father, Butch, as we called him affectionately, I called him Dad. I was in Florida for a vacation with my husband or ex-husband now, but we were married at the time. And he had to go back home early. And when he went back to Chicago early, we stayed in Florida and I called him an Uber because he needed a ride from the train station or the airport or somewhere. Guess who his driver was? Butch. I looked and I was like, get out of the car. I didn't want Jason to find out where I lived. I was mad. It's like, I don't want to see him. I'm mad. And what I wasn't thinking was that, okay, is Dad really gonna look at his Uber rides and see my name and say, oh, they were on that street? Probably not. But I was just being precautious, I guess. He always asked about my kids, my mother, my auntie that passed away. And one thing I can say is no matter what, he always checked in on me. You okay, D? Girl, you looking good. Okay, Jay. Thanks. He got his nose broken long time ago. He had a crooked nose. He didn't care. He was very clean. Boy, you talk about clean. He would shower twice a day if necessary. Clothes are always neat. But when he stopped doing that is when I knew something was wrong. He stopped doing that. So when he got locked up again, because once you get in the system, can't get out. It's hard to get out, hard to stay away. They coming for you. He got into it with an officer. Hit him all in the face. And guess what happened? He got his nose fixed. He sent me a video. Hey D, I got my nose fixed. What? You getting a nose job at this late age? He was like, well, something like that. I didn't even recognize his nose anymore. I was like, I've always seen it, you know. Yeah. He finally got his nose fixed. And now he's gone. Those of you um that knew him, you know what I'm talking about. He liked to make everybody comfortable. I didn't see a lot of people doing that for him. But he liked to make everybody comfortable. Nothing was a big deal. No sense of urgency. It's one of the reasons why we didn't continue. It's like, look, we gotta get going now. Oh, D. Oh, okay. I want to say goodbye to my friend. I want to say goodbye to my childhood sweetheart. This is the rawest show I've ever done. Don't forget to comment. If you knew Jason, I want to be able to show this to his mom. I want her to see the people that cared about him, or if you want to comment about whoever you love. But I can honestly say I've lost some family members, few friends. None of them affected me like this. Yeah, I love my family members, but they were like older. You like, dang, auntie gone, great grandma gone, dang, great granddad, grandma, not my mother's mother, but my father's mother. I never really knew her. But this one right here, your first love, that's hard. Yeah, that's tough. Even if you don't make it, it's tough. Oh, I feel so, I don't know. I never get on here and show my emotions. I'm always happy. Hey, what's up? It's your girl. Peace. Can't do it. Can't do it. All right. I think I've said enough. I love that we had that conversation 4 weeks ago. Apologies were everywhere. Gave me closure. I don't know. Did he know he was going? Did he know he was going to leave? Because the conversation we had was, D, I'm sorry. I was fighting demons and I wish things could have worked out. You would have won. And it's not even about that. It's just about closure. It was true closure. How did he know? Why was it now? Why was it now? And it was literally 4 weeks ago. I talked to him Sunday, Friday, Thursday, last Tuesday. A lot. But why 4 weeks ago did you feel the need to say, D, I'm sorry? I couldn't get myself together, that I couldn't be what you needed to be. And I wish I could turn back the hands of time. He didn't say, can you take me back? Because he knew it was a no, a solid one. But that's all I got. All right. Nikki says, thank you. Jason would have loved this. Probably. It didn't take much to make him smile for real. All right, guys. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for watching. This is probably going down in history as the strangest podcast ever. I hope to never have to do one of these again. I promise you that. But I do want you to, your takeaway would be hug them now. Hug them now. Hug them now. Don't stay mad. Don't be revengeful. Don't hold grudges because you'll be on the other side of that phone or on the other side of town thinking, I wish I could have, would have done X. Don't be that guy or girl. All right. That's all I got. Don't forget to subscribe. I look, Jay would have said, live your life, D, because he said that to me when he left the first go round. So I'm in my mind, that's what he's saying. Live your life, D. I want you to remember that. Live your life, whoever you are. Subscribe to the channel if you want to. Um, Tomorrow's Friday. I got the divorce. I don't know what we're gonna call the show. It's divorced and something. Where I host with my ex-husband. It's crazy. I have the craziest personality, and he thinks so too. But we're actually gonna be in the same room. Okay. Doing this show, Divorced. It was called Divorced and Dating Others, but we renamed it to Divorced and Now What or Move On or something like that. You be the judge. You send me a suggestion. Okay. What we're trying to do is have ex couples come onto the show and talk about how they're coexisting now. All right. It has nothing to do with dating because we didn't talk about that. So we dropped that. But it has to do with coexisting and co-parenting maybe and if you could apologize, what would you say? And things like that. Wow. Last week's show was a shit show, but it was good. It was good. We had two guests on, Art and Gia Davis. It was so funny. We had to put them in timeout. They got a little heated. But you can check it out on my channel. It's under the divorce section. Also, Sunday is the spectacular Akai and Ray event where Maya, Akai, and I talk about adult things like does the size of a man's you know what determine his arrogance? Or how to make love to a woman. We talk about stuff like that. On Wednesday, you can check out Toasting While Tipping, where I host a show with Boss Lady Plus Two. And we talk about current events, entertainment, sports, mostly the Bears, right? Oof. We just have so much fun. All right. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for everything. Rest in peace, Jay. I'll see you on the other side when it's my time, though. Oh, I just want to punch him in the face. I know that sounds weird, right? Oh, why did you die on me, man? That's what I want to do. I want to punch him in the face. Okay. Rest in peace. Good night, everybody. Bye bye for now.